am here holding the hope for you until you can hold it for yourself.
Welcome to From Heartache to Healing and Hope with your host, Bernadette Winters Bell, LMSW. This podcast explores the many layers of life through the lens of loss and grief, often with special guests who share their perspectives on this universal yet unique process. These explorations can offer you, the listener, avenues to encourage you to have these conversations with yourself, your family, your community, your world.
Hi there, it's Bernadette Winters Bell. I'm the host of the podcast From Heartache to Healing and Hope. And in this series, Same Storm, Different Boats, we'll be paddling away today with Vicki Winchester. So interesting. She's a school bus driver of long standing at one of our local school districts, and also she's a health coach, and she's inspired so many people. And her joy and change and evolution, it's infectious. I think you're going to really enjoy that. So join us on From Heartache to Healing and Hope, Same Storm, Different Boats. I'm Bernadette Winters Bell, here holding the hope for you until you can hold it for yourself. See you soon.
Welcome. I'm Bernadette Winters Bell, and this is my podcast From Heartache to Healing and Hope. And this series is called Same Storm, Different Boats. And here, let me introduce my special guest, Vicki Winchester. Vicki, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you very much, Bernadette.
Absolutely, absolutely. So would you be so kind as to help my audience understand who you are? Tell us about your background. And well, let's start with who you are right now.
Okay, well, right now I am Vicki Winchester. I am a certified health coach. I have two grown adult sons. I've been married for 25 years. I still drive school bus. I absolutely love that job with all those smiling faces. And I used to drive tractor trailers over the road. So I've kind of had a vivid background.
I'll say, how interesting is that? Now, were you raised in this area here in upstate New York?
Yes. Born and raised in Cooperstown, and I am currently residing for the last 26 years in Oneonta.
Ah, terrific. Wonderful. So I had learned that after World War I, when people saw one another after having been away at war or working or keeping the home fires burning, that they would say to one another, "How was your war?" So I say to you, Vicki, how has your pandemic been?
The pandemic has been really good, actually. It's been very good. It's the pre-pandemic. That's where my story begins. But my pandemic itself, through this whole, the quarantining and being socially distant, that I found something where I could love on others and I could bring hope to their lives and passion into their lives. So I don't want to ever wish the pandemic again, but it has been very good to me.
Well, then let's go back a step. Tell me about pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic. Okay, born and raised as a country girl, born on the farm, did all that. But I gained weight. And it basically started when I was pregnant with my son. In high school, if we could wish what we weighed in high school, we weighed now,
For sure.
But, absolutely. So gaining weight over the years, just, settling in our life, just, this is my life, I got to deal with it. And I don't ever blame it on my pregnancies by any means, but that's kind of basically where it started. And over the years, I was up to 315 pounds. And it was a sad, when I was there, I was sad. I was depressed. I couldn't do the things that a mom could do with their children. I had to sit on the sideline, watch their life go by. And
Had you seen other women raising a family, gaining weight? Had this been something that you had viewed in your family or community?
yeah, the family and the community is just, I guess you get stuck in that structure where this is just it. This is how I got to lead my life. I don't have the tools to succeed in the areas I want to succeed, because as women, and not saying any less of a man, but as women, we are caregivers. So where is our focus
Mhm.
when we are raising a family? It's on our family. It's not on us.
No, because we often, if I ask people to make a list, of who they're taking care of, it's unusual if they even make page one. I forget
Hmm.
near the top. Right. And so it sounds
Absolutely.
like it might have been that way for you, taking care of your kids and the rest of your family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
And so other than your weight, when you were raising your family, was this a good time for you?
oh yes. I mean, besides the hindrance of that, we talk about the weight on our body, but it's the weight on your shoulders and the weight in your heart. But other than that,
Mm,
perfect family, love them, had a great upbringing. My past was, I had an awesome family, or very family bound people. We
right.
don't have we have a great family dynamics, is what I want to say.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So at some point, you, you decide that um, carrying that weight, what was the weight in your heart? Do you know?
Oh, way more than the weight on my body. But I
Mm,
did not know it. I did
right.
not know it. I knew Vicki as the way Vicki was. This is the way I will be for the rest of my life. I didn't
Mm,
know, because try everything. Tried everything throughout my life and nothing worked.
right. Wow. And so did you ever discover what the weight is on your heart?
Sadness,
Mm,
um, not feeling loved, even though I was loved. I didn't feel loved because I wasn't loving myself.
right.
And when
It's hard to receive love if we can't acknowledge the goodness in ourselves and feel love
absolutely.
for ourselves. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So was there a situation that happened that caused you to change how you looked at
Um,
yourself?
oh yeah, a big situation. Um, I I started this on this program. We're all very skeptical of things that are going on in the world and what people have to offer. And I just watched on Facebook because it was just, my friend was doing amazing, and I'm like, I want part of that, but you're scared to reach out because everything you feel is a gimmick. And this program that I started on in April of 2018, and I have currently lost 170 pounds. So
Wow.
yeah. and there's, so, like I've said before, more than the weight issue, it's, I've come off a lot of medications, and the pain in my body has
Mm,
subsided. um, so it's way more than the pain. But the program is amazing because it doesn't focus just on the weight. We focus on the healthy body and the healthy mind, and then the next step is your healthy finances. And
right.
that's people's life. Those are areas that
For
people really
sure.
want.
For sure.
So yeah. And the program is,
Absolutely. So did you find that you were able to begin to like yourself?
oh, oh yeah. I don't want to sound too self-confident, but I love myself more when I'm loving on my clients, when I
Right.
am pouring love into them. But yes, to be able to get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm really happy right now. My
That's
life is fulfilled.
That is so terrific. So tell me about your kids and your family around you. Were they supportive when you started this journey?
Oh, absolutely. Very supportive. A little bit in denial because we all go through that, is this really another thing mom's going to try, or
Right.
another thing my wife wants to try, but very supportive. And them just watching me, a lot of them have jumped on program with me, and they have
Wow.
become healthier. So, it's healthy life, and that we have, like my husband says, healthy life, healthy wife.
Right. Right.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, to be able to give this gift forward to my family, to my parents, my sisters, my children,
Hmm.
it's just incredible.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so, when you were younger, could you have ever imagined that you would be right where you are today?
No, never.
Mm.
Never. I mean, let's go back to when I said that I used to drive tractor trailer over
Right.
the road. Um, so did I find myself a people person? I was not a people. I didn't think I was a people person. Um, and if someone told me you're going to become a health coach and you're going to enjoy it, I was like, oh no, 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 that's not going to be possible.
So it's
But
not how you saw yourself. Right.
not at all. And and that's the goal in life, is to do something every day that makes you a better person.
So
And everyone.
what caused you to start to become a tractor trailer driver? Because that's a very interesting career choice.
The country in me, it's like, if it's bigger and better, I want to accomplish. I want to try it. I've
Mm.
always been that kind of challenging person, and I went to school to become a tractor trailer tractor trailer driver.
Right.
Went over the road for 6 months to a year, did all of that, and then I met my husband one weekend on my way when we were home. And then it's like, oh, the teenage life, you're just like, oh, I'm in love. Which I am. I still am, to the same man. So then I was like, you know what, time for the parenting to start and
Mhm.
to settle down. So I still have that, I guess you want to say, that drive in me.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say it must have been hard to give it up after
Oh,
having
yeah.
that kind of freedom and independence.
Yeah, because you have that drive. So I went to the next best thing. My
Hmm.
mom was a school bus driver, and she's like, "Why don't you come try this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not. I'm not transporting a bunch of screaming kids on the bus. No way." But I did. I tried it, and absolutely love it.
Ah,
Absolutely.
what do you love about it?
Oh, do you know what it is like to see a child smile at you in the morning and say
Yeah.
good morning, and
Mm.
you reciprocate that and you give it back to them, because you honestly don't know what's going on in their home life.
Sure.
You may be the only smile they get, you give them. It's a
Right.
little hard now with the mask, but we all have like our fist punch or our
Right.
elbow. They know that you're there and they care, and they just want that to know that there's someone there that will always listen to them. So I don't only just drive the bus, I find myself being a nurse, a counselor,
For
a
sure.
mom, a friend.
And how
So
do
I
you
just
get them to sit in their seats and not, to misbehave? How do you get them to be safe and enjoy the ride to and from school?
how do I get them to be safe? Well, it probably goes back to, I had some of their parents. So,
Ah,
uh, yeah. But technology nowadays is amazing, because I am in contact with their parents. I will honestly be, I don't have a lot of issues on my bus. They are well behaved children. But I do believe if they have just a little fear in you, like,
mhm.
you're gonna tell mom or dad or
Right.
something, but to also respect them, and they
Mhm.
will respect you. And I think it goes back to loving on them. If you love your job, it
Right.
shows.
Nice. Wonderful. Wonderful. So how did they respond to the changes they start to see you when you started your journey more than 2 years ago?
So funny. I had a little girl come up to me one day and she's like, Mrs. Vicki, because they call me Vicki instead of Mrs. Winchester. That's kind of hard for the little guys. Mrs. Vicki, you're changing. I am? She goes, yeah, you used to be fat. You're not fat anymore. And I would get so offended by those comments before, but I'm like, that's how children, they are the most honest creatures around. So they just say it is. And I think they have seen me come alive, as so to speak. And I always thought I was fun, but I never knew that I am a lot more fun now. And I don't want to be bragging, but I find that, we turn the radio up. There's very telltale signs on my bus. If I reach over and turn the radio off, they know they've been too loud. But they all have their assigned seats. They all sit very well. They all, they do what they're expected because it's consistency.
Yes.
I'm there,
It's interesting that when we put the bar at a certain place and say could be fun, but everyone has to rise up to this level, and then I will respect you and you'll show respect for me, and this will all work. And interestingly, when we do that and one steps aside, the others are like, no, we don't act like this on this bus or this place. Right.
Absolutely. Because the older children tell, they suggest, this is Miss Vicky's not going to be happy. And when I'm not there, they always rat on each other.
So you don't even have to be there to find out what's going on. I love that. They're like,
Miss Vicki, do you know what they did today? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow. So was the job of driving the bus ended for a few months in the spring of this year when COVID started? How did that go for you?
Oh yeah, it did. We started because we have our main runs, and then a lot of us have our secondary runs. So yes, it stopped. What was March, April. And because I miss the kids. And right now we're actually not at school virtual right at the moment, but missing their faces, missing their smiles, but the connection on Facebook, you get to see them, and like I said, being close with the parents. I'm not a stranger to the parents.
Right.
I'm not a stranger to the kids. So having that communication skill is awesome, and to be able to reach out. But did it affect me in the loneliness part of it? Yeah, because you miss that. But
physical interaction is so important for us and the children, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I worry more for the children than I do. So I worry for everyone.
Right.
But the children are lacking the communication skills right now, and how to verbally communicate with people eye to eye.
Right.
And that's the tough part.
Absolutely. So, was there any point since March that the bus runs were going, or then it stopped and went back? Was it like that?
Yeah, we started back up, and let me see. We brought in the elementary in October, and we ran the elementary for a while to see how COVID would reflect that. We did very well, then brought back high schoolers in November, and then our district had a couple positive cases, so we went back to virtual for a couple weeks, and we're supposed to go back in person on the 14th of December.
Okay. And then school ends for this semester when? Right before Christmas?
Yeah, right before Christmas. So they'll be back 8 days, and then they'll be on Christmas break. But now that things seem to be heightening a little bit, just keeping our fingers crossed and seeing how that goes.
Wow. And does that mean extra work in keeping the bus clean? Do you have procedures that go for that?
Oh yeah, we have to, we have a fog machine that gets sprayed every night, every day after our runs,
Oh, to
wipe down.
disinfect everything. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, a
Right.
disinfector, and we personally wipe down the hand railings and the seats and the steering wheel, because I may not be the one that drives, someone else may be driving. So you want to take precautions, and
Sure.
it just breaks my heart to see these little guys with masks on. It really breaks, but I know, it's a safety issue.
And I have to say, from the children I've spoken to and the parents, teachers, um, it isn't as difficult for the younger ones,
Hmm.
um, because it's like, oh, this is what I have to do. Okay, they haven't lived as long not to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you weren't driving for school, did that give you more time for your coaching work?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
really, because that coaching can be done right from home.
Hmm.
And we do it right through, like, Zooming, like we are now, or the phone, and Facebook. So yes, I really dug into my health coaching, and really, I just, it's awesome
Oh,
to
how
bring.
terrific. Wow. And so, how many clients do you find now that you're working with? About.
Um, since I started coaching in August of 2018, my team and myself have helped over 200 clients in the area.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just,
So
and
many. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
and I'm sure that number, I haven't sat down and counted. It'd take me a while to count, because I have coaches that work under me as well.
Mhm.
But to realize that I can help people. I can help people. And they are all, they all have a success story of some sort,
Mhm.
whether they've gotten to their goal weight, whether they stopped program for a reason, but no matter what, while on program and thereafter, they are having success. Because I speak to some of my past clients, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm still doing this, I'm still doing that, teaching
Wonderful.
this habit, that habit.
So it sounds like it was a little bit of a surprise for you to learn that you could be so helpful to people. Now,
Hmm.
you raised your children. I'm sure you're very helpful to your family and to them. Was it that you found yourself being helpful to so many other people outside of family?
Hmm. To think that I had I don't want to say the power in me, but I had the ability to bring light and hope into other people's eyes. I would have never ever dreamed that I could be the person that can do that to someone.
And how did you learn that about yourself, that you now have that ability, or most probably always had it? But how did you learn it was inside of you?
Kicking fear in the face when I was asked to become a health coach, because my mom wanted to go on program.
Hmm.
And who better to help someone that you're around than you?
Right.
You don't want a complete stranger helping. I'm already doing the program myself. So she wanted to come on board. I'm like, okay, I can help my mom. This is easy. And then it is just, for me to say addicting, it is very, very addicting when nothing but positivity you bring into people. You're bringing them, like I said before, hope and belief. And believe, I think, is one of the strongest words I know.
And are you showing them belief in what exactly?
At first, a lot of people, when they're reaching out for help, they're scared first to reach out for help. It's
Mhm.
getting over that hurdle. But once they just connect with me and say, hey, I'd like to hear more about your program, I bring them on the phone and I find out what's in their heart, what they want to accomplish. Because, hey, we all want to lose weight, right? Everybody wants to get healthy in one area or another.
Right.
But why? But
Mhm.
why? So we dig a little deeper and get into the real meaning Because I could tell you, Bernadette, I want to lose weight. And you're gonna say, okay, that's great. But why do I want to lose weight? Because I want to fit on the airplane without needing a seat belt adjustment. I want to go on the amusement park rides with my children and not watch. I want to go to the beach and wear a bathing suit and not have everyone staring at me. I want to be able to climb stairs. I want to come off my medications. There's more than just wanting to lose weight.
Always, so I'm in the life loss and grief business for over 30 years. And I was just speaking about this yesterday, that this isn't just, you've had such and such of a loss, which could be a death or someone moving away or a loss of a job, many different things. It isn't just dealing with what the presenting issue is, such as losing weight. It's what's underneath. What caused your reaction and response and brought you to this place? And when we go back and look at lifelong habits and coping skills and situations and responses and things we were given and not given that we needed. And usually what we didn't get was not out of someone just didn't want to give it to us. They didn't know, it wasn't given to them, and they didn't know to give it to us, like to eat healthy or exercise or how to cope with a loss, And does that ever come into being, that people or yourself lose weight and then feel like they're losing that person that was, and that's a difficult transition perhaps sometimes?
Most people want to lose that person.
They want to lose the person. I know they want to lose the weight.
No, I mean, they want to lose, because if they've come to me, generally, if they've reached out, they've hit a low somewhere.
Right.
They've hit a low and they are hurting. Their heart is hurting more than their mind, or their mind is hurting. And like we said, it's more than just the weight.
Always. It's
balancing that. And but I say, once you lose the weight, it opens the door for so many other things.
Right. Then you can begin to look at what caused the weight gain. Was it hereditary? Was it self-soothing responses? Whatever it was that caused that. So I can imagine that many of my listeners are going to be fascinated to hear more about this. And how would they be in touch with you to learn about this, Vicki?
Oh, just write my name down, Vicki Winchester. I am on Facebook. I have a cell phone. You can reach me by cell phone, Facebook Messenger. I have email. I don't know if you want me to say it all.
I do. We're going to post it, of course, when we put this together, but please spell your name and give exactly the context. I'd love to share it with people.
Absolutely. It's Vicki Winchester, Vicki Winchester. And that's on Facebook, spelled just like that. My cell phone number is 607-267-3158. Text, voicemail, whatever you would like. And then my email address is tvwinchester, WINCHESTER @yahoo.com.
Beautiful.
And just remember, if you cannot believe in yourself, borrow my belief. Because within the first week, when you are seeing success, you're going to start believing in yourself.
That's another beautiful way of saying what I say to people, is that until you can hold the hope for yourself, and you can't hold it yet because you can't see where we're going, and I can. So I'll hold the hope for you until you're ready to hold it for yourself. So in essence, we're offering the same kind of support, that they know someone has their back and is holding that hope and support for them. So that's lovely. And what gives you hope for the future going forward?
That more people will reach out, and I can bring them hope and them relief in their life, and that to show them that they are worthy. We are all worthy people. You have a reason you are here. And let's work together and find that. Because, we as Americans, we just need love right now. We may not be able to hug each other, but to get on the phone, to just have a conversation is just truly, it just fills my heart.
And it's interesting that all around the world, the more people I talk to, the more you learn, of course, we're much more similar than we're different. And these are some of the basics that we all need. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Vicki. It's been wonderful having this conversation with you. And I'm so glad you joined my podcast, From Heartache to Healing and Hope. And this version, Same Storm, Different Boats, we've talked about all the different changes in your life and how you're rowing away well, girl. So thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.